Cornwall is an engine of great historical importance, but today I'm not here to go into detail about her history. Anthony Dawson has done a very good analysis of her remarkable service life, and I'll refer to his video if that's what piques your interest. But instead, I'm here to talk about a peculiar moment towards the end of Cornwall's service career, when she ended up in a somewhat embarrassing situation. On July 20th, 1920, Cornwall undertook her last trip down to London. For the last 10 years or so, she'd been used by the locomotive department, primarily as the CME's personal engine for taking his private coach when visiting the running sheds of the London North Western. At this time, Mr. Bowen Cook, the current CME, was travelling to St. Just to recover from a serious illness. Cornwall was used to take him from Crewe down to Euston, and this became big news, as Cornwall hadn't been seen in the capital for rather a long time. As a result, the news spread fast, with the London Evening News even running an article about her sojourn down south. Now, it isn't known how it came about, but someone arranged to have Cornwall pilot the 1:15 p.m. Scotch Express back north. This, of course, at the time being hauled by the Cloughton 460 Patriot. The difference of age between the two was 68 years, and a huge crowd gathered to see them depart, both enthusiasts and the press. For obvious reasons, it was a very notable event in the post-war period. But this is actually what followed Cornwall's embarrassment, as prior to this, of course, the engine had to be turned. Due to when Cornwall had arrived and when the 1:15 p.m. express had to depart, time was short to turn her, so there was no chance of sending her to the more straightforward Camden depot, and the result was having to use the old turntable at Euston itself. This was due for repairs, and was in a very sketchy condition to say the least. Cornwall was taken slowly onto it, the tilt of the table creating a height difference of 3 inches between its rail level and that actually on the ground. Thankfully, no major incident occurred, and with some careful maneuvering, Cornwall was successfully turned. Getting Cornwall off the turntable, however, was a very different story. Due to the condition of the turntable and the age of the engine, her driver opted to take things very gently, giving Cornwall just enough steam to move off. Of course, the table tilted once more, with the result that as Cornwall's front carrying wheels left the turntable, the shock killed her momentum. She ended up with her front wheels on level ground, her trailing wheels on the turntable, and the only set of wheels actually able to move her stuck, suspended in midair. As a result, Cornwall had to be rescued by another engine in order to get her moving again. In the end, this particular event didn't see wider mention until the 1950s, and even today isn't widely known. Although it may be a somewhat embarrassing incident for a dignified lady of the Great War with the broad gauge, it is nonetheless a unique and colorful story in the history of one of the most valuable locomotives in railway preservation.